What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Icing the Puck. We are back. Another week of hockey. We are 3 weeks in now, y'all, this season. Things are getting a little tight. Here. Jordan, what is up, bro? How are you? How's your weekend been?
I have been very good, very, very busy this week and weekend. Lots of hockey's been happening, lots of crazy games, lots of good games, lots of action. Yeah, it's been really good so far. I'm very much enjoying this season so far.
Me too. Been a crazy year, as you could tell. We're both wearing football jerseys today. We have a bit of a
Yep,
Cowboys Broncos matchup here in about an hour or so.
yep,
Um, wanted to
yep.
wanted to show the pride a little bit.
Yeah, gotta represent our teams, not just hockey. Brian being a full Texas sports guy and me being a Colorado sports guy. It's you know, I don't know if there's necessarily a bunch of
Interesting.
rivalries in other than, I mean, hockey kind of a rivalry, but I don't feel like other than that these other teams don't have too much rivalry going on. But
I think that's it. I
always love
mean,
when
I,
they
I
play each
came to
other.
find out. I came to find out the other day. I didn't know that it's been about 30 years since we beat the Broncos. I mean, John Elway was quarterback at that time, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's. I don't know how y'all have our numbers so well.
I don't know, man. It's we'll see how it goes. Just gotta believe and we'll be good.
Oh, we're going up against the MVP frontrunner today. My boy Dak about to put up
Sure.
some big numbers, but I don't know. He's playing a real defense today, so we'll see what
Yep.
happens. Hopefully, it should be a good game. It was a pretty good sports weekend for me. I gotta say, last weekend, everybody remembers, it was a bad sports weekend for me. Got my Texas Longhorns comeback win yesterday against Mississippi State. 24 unanswered points, coming to win the game in overtime. Electric Dallas Stars finally in the win column again after losing four straight. Four straight. It's been rough. We'll get into the Stars a little bit later. I feel like I say that every episode, but yeah. I don't know. What about you? Good sports weekend? Bad sports weekend? What are we looking at here?
Well, I mean, really the only team that I have that's playing right now, that's been playing this past week, was the Avs, and it was kind of a rough week for them. They've yeah, I mean, lost a couple games there. Only one regulation loss still so far, but yeah, but I mean, I've just been enjoying watching everybody else playing right now. So all kinds of hockey happening. Basically, always got a game going on after in the evenings and stuff like that, pretty much. So it's
For sure.
it's
Been
been
great.
good. Yeah.
One other big update here. I will have a new studio next week, so you won't have to see my closet anymore. Moving into a new house. Going to be great. So I've been a
Yeah,
little
there
busy,
we
but
go.
hopefully we should have a elite studio setup for y'all next week.
You
We'll
know,
see how it goes.
a little behind the
But
scenes, a little soon to be new setup. That'd be awesome.
a little view into the life of the host.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody, if you end up buying a house in your life, get ready because it gets a little chaotic, a little hectic. But I digress. We have some hockey to get into. I don't know about you, man, but I want to take a look at these standings, and I want to talk about a couple teams that have kind of surprised me a little bit with how they've climbed. Last week we talked about things and we said we had a couple of expectations for teams that were going to drop and teams that were going to work their way back up, and certainly a lot of them did exactly that. I'll let you take it away here. What's a team that's kind of surprised you with the position that they're in right now?
This actually goes all the way back to the first predictions episode we did about the divisional rankings and everything. A team I was kind of sleeping on that I'll admit I might have been kind of wrong about this one was the New Jersey Devils. I know, I mean, they're literally playing right now. They're playing against the Avs right now, but they lead the league right now. I mean, they're tied with Utah and Montreal for the most points, but they have that many points with 2 games less played than Montreal and 1 less game than Utah. So they looked pretty good. I mean, I mean, when they get going, they're kind of scary, which
Yeah,
is a big change from where I thought they would be. I didn't think they were a bad team by any means, but I did not expect to see them at the top right now. And yeah, they've been playing really good and some really good games too. I mean, I don't know. There's not much more to say other than the fact that I'm very surprised by how their
yeah,
record has turned out.
we talked about this quite a bit in our division predictions. You were a little low on them. I'll admit, I had them in my top 3, but I saw them finishing right at 3. But with the way things are shaking up now, the biggest issue with this team over the past couple seasons has been health. And so far, so good. Nobody has really exited the lineup too much. I mean, you have a couple guys who started on the IR, a couple veteran guys, but they're hanging in there without him. They managed to beat the Sharks on Friday. Solid win against the Wild. Beat the Leafs. Beat the Oilers. Beat the Panthers. I mean, dude, they're on a huge winning streak. I think there's a 5-game winning streak. And look, you have 3 goals allowed to the Lightning, 2 goals allowed to Columbus, 1 goal allowed to the former Stanley Cup champion Panthers, 3 goals allowed to Edmonton, 2 to Toronto, 1 to Minnesota. I mean, Jake Allen playing great while Markstrom's on IR. I mean, this is crazy, and that's what happens when you have 2 veteran goaltenders. Sheldon Keefe's running a good show over there, man, and Jack Hughes, man, I mean, he's taking over the reins, but it's this Jesper Bratt guy that's kind of going hard too. It's a whole collective unit over there. So really impressed with New Jersey. I would agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, it expands out from just New Jersey. The entire Metro division as a whole has been a lot more interesting than in years past. I think they're a lot more competitive with each other. And I mean, the top 4 right now are all looking really solid. And I'm curious to see how long-term and towards the end of the season, how these ranks are going to shake up. But I mean, I can see right now, even just starting right now, that the teams that are in the top 4 will stay in that top 4. They might shuffle around a little bit, but I could see them all finishing in those top 4 spots, which is going to be crazy competitive because there's New Jersey, Carolina, Washington, and the Penguins, which again, New Jersey and the Penguins are 2 teams that I did not expect to be at the top. Yeah.
Pittsburgh is it finally time for us to fully admit that Pittsburgh is a good team, a team that can make the playoffs?
I mean, yeah, they've missed the past 3 years now, and they're not having it again. They're taking it serious now, and I think they heard all these rumors that about some of their guys being traded and things like that, and they're like, we're not going that way. It's not happening.
We're not breaking the band up yet.
Yeah, I still stand by my Sidney Crosby take. I still think that they should trade him. I don't.
My gosh.
For everybody that commented, no, wow, not even sticking to your guns. Everybody that said on the last one that commented that saying that as an Avs fan I'm biased. I don't want him to go to the Avs, so I don't care where he goes. I just think that the smart move is to trade him.
What do you mean you don't want him on the Avs? I'm a Stars fan. I'll gladly say I would love him on my team. I think anybody would love him on their team.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I would want him on my team. I just don't want what the team would have to give up to get him. And that's where, I don't think it's strategically the right move for them. But hey, I'll stick by that. I'll stick by my statement.
There's
saying
another.
That I think they should trade him.
There's another grandpa on the Penguins here, Gino Malkin. Top 5 in points with 14 now, dude. That's 39-year-old, that's not too bad. The Penguins really shook things up for me. I'll tell you what, bro, that Metro Division, a team I'm really interested now, and that goes into kind of the topic of this episode. We're going to be discussing rookies here in a little bit, kind of a deep dive into the rookies. How about those New York Islanders, man? Sneaking into the top 5 in this division after being bottom of the league?
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. I think we've talked about it before. It's they're actually kind of interesting to watch now, because before they were just this slow, methodical, I mean, very defensive, very just, not a high.
They were the Raisin Bran of hockey.
Yeah.
Is what they were for the past couple of years. Now they're the Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. But yeah, they've been really interesting to watch. And I don't know. I mean, right now they're sitting 5th in the division. I think they could definitely improve that. I don't know. This division is so competitive right now, actually. Surprisingly. I mean, they're all pretty close. You've got your top 5 or top 4 pretty close to each other. And then your bottom 4 all right within
all really close
1 point of each other.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a complete shakeup right now of what it could look like long term. And I have to say, the only team I'm really disappointed in this division are the Rangers. All the other teams, I'm good for them. They're looking decent. Man. Just, I know those Rangers, man. Who knows? Maybe I don't know.
I
Maybe this
told you,
coaching change did not solve it.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
I
Mike
don't know.
Sullivan was the
I
problem
don't know, man.
in
Yeah, maybe he
Pittsburgh.
was. Maybe he was, huh? I jumped off the New York train last week. Everybody knows I'm a Buffalo guy now. I'm a Buffalo guy. And speaking of Buffalo, they're top 4 in the Atlantic. They're number 4. Okay, this team's
Yeah,
been rocking and rolling, dude. This is a team that, and guess what? I'm going to say it. I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised one bit. Go Sabres. Huge wins. I mean, I watched this game on Friday night against Toronto. Massive win. I mean, I've never seen this team hold on so strong this season. They took it personal. They said, yeah, you're right across the pond over there. You're our neighbors, basically? Now, watch this. But then they lose to Toronto the next day in overtime. Impressive win against Detroit. You know, they've hung in there a lot of these games. So I'm happy with how Buffalo's performing. I'm not going to say they're a playoff team yet because the Atlantic, I mean, all these divisions are super tight, and the Atlantic is one that's kind of shifting around a lot, too. You know, Buffalo's a team that, kind of like usual, they go on these big win streaks, but they also hit these, like, big losing streaks as well. But the story with them right now is Alex Lyon. You know, I'd say he's like a top 5 goaltender in the league right now for a guy they signed to be like a third string, and he's just taken over.
yeah. Yeah, no, he's played really well. Yeah, I mean, Buffalo has had a crazy turnaround from the beginning of the season. They look like a different team. I don't know what happened all of a sudden. They lost those first 4 games, and then they're just like, it's over. We're done with this. And they just, yeah, like you said, they started stacking up these impressive wins and against teams that look pretty decent. I mean, I don't know. I have been very impressed with them for. I don't know. It might be their time again. Who knows? I know you're a big Buffalo guy. I don't know. See,
Alex
I
Lyon,
honestly think,
save percentage. Just going to leave it there.
yeah, yeah.
Vezina favorite.
Sticking in the Atlantic. The team I'm honestly that's in the top 4 that I'm actually not very impressed with so far, but I know why. It's like injuries is Florida. I think Florida's looked a little rough. They've held in there on a lot of these games just because that's kind of how their team is built. Like they're a tough, like gritty team, but some of their games have just looked really sloppy and really not good. And I'm surprised they're still in 3rd in that division, which pretty soon here they might not be. And then I think 2 of the top 3 teams that we predicted at the beginning of the season are now in the bottom 3.
Tampa and Ottawa.
The Leafs and Tampa. No.
Yeah, the Leafs as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the Leafs. Ottawa's right kind of in the middle there where
Yeah.
they're tied for 4th with Toronto and the Sabres. So, I mean, they're all right there. This division is a lot closer than some of the other ones, but it's like standing wise, they're closer, but the bottom, like the actual play wise, I don't think that they are close. I think the top 3 teams, the top couple teams have looked really good.
With Florida.
Other than Florida.
You know,
Florida's looked a little rough.
Florida is like, I don't want to say like lazy hockey, but definitely you could tell Florida is coming off like a little bit of a fatigue, you know, from the past 2 years. And that was expected. Bob isn't playing to his standard. Now he has Kulikov out for a while, you know, like he has a couple defensemen who are now out, kind of shifting in with some new guys now, like Jeff Petrie is a little bit of a liability on the blue line sometimes. But other than the defense, like, yeah, like the injuries are going to affect this team. We knew that. And you know, when you have like 38-year-old Brad Marchand leading your team at 11 points, and this is no hate towards Marchand. Like, he's an amazing player, but like, he's one of the newer faces. He's not one of the familiar faces, one of the guys you'd expect. Because, I mean, you know, you have Sam Reinhart, who's led the league in goals before. He's playing his part, but he's not scoring as much as you want him to. Markov's out. Kachuk is out. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm impressed that they're still in the top 3 with all these guys out, but like, you know, I could definitely see them dropping out eventually. With Toronto, this is a team that is also trying to find their legs a little bit. I feel like losing Mitch Marner has affected them a little more than they expected. You know, because some of the pairings are just a little odd, you know, like the Domi Tavares, God, who's the other wing on that line? Domi Tavares Nylander. You know, like I don't know. Domi switched from wing and center a couple times now. The lines are just a little jumbled. And they've held in there. Like, they've won games. They just got Wall back, so maybe that'll help them give Solars a little bit of rest. I expect the Leafs to make a jump here in the next few weeks. The Lightning, though, man, I mean, is it time to just just leave the Lightning behind here a little bit? Like, are they a bad team, or do you expect them to kind of get their feet back under them and pop back up to the top of this division?
You know, what's crazy about it is, like, I've watched some of their games and I just can't tell what it is that's missing. Like, I can't tell what it is that is not working for them. And I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff saying like, oh, they need a coaching change, which is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, no, it's
When
completely
you have,
wrong.
I don't think it's that kind of an issue. I just think and it's kind of goes like both Florida teams right now. I think they're kind of like coasting right now. Like, they're not like, there's no like drive in them, and it's really hurt Tampa more than it's hurt the Panthers. They've kind of got away with it a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just trying to enjoy the last little bit of sunshine they got down there I'm just kidding. I know it's sunny there year round before it's winter time, before it's hockey season, but it's like, newsflash, guys, it's already hockey season. You gotta start playing. No, I don't know what it is. I think some of these other teams are tired of being at the bottom of the standings in that division, and they're like, it's our
They're just
time to
playing
shine.
harder. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, can they keep that up the entire season versus these other teams that are, a little more established and a little more, a little bit stronger? I think, are they gonna kind of ramp it up later in the season? But some of these teams are kind of padding their numbers right now and banking those points for later in the season. But I don't know.
Guys, I kind of want to call out here on Tampa a little bit. You got last year, it was, Gensel came in last year and played really well, and he's doing the same this year. He leads the team in points with 9. But you have, last year, Brandon Hagel was able to hit 90 points, okay? And Kucherov was amazing as always. You've seen a regression from both of those guys this year. I mean, Kucherov's been hurt a little bit. Like, I think he might be trying to play through an injury after missing a few games. But, I mean, Brandon Hagel doesn't have a goal yet. He's only got 3 points. Kucherov has 7 points. He's starting to kind of jump in a little bit here. But, like, you aren't seeing kind of the magic that you saw out of some of these guys last year. It's almost just becoming the Jake Gensel show.
Yeah.
You kind of need all these guys who are supposed to be top players in this league to step up if you want to make the playoffs again, year in and year out. And this has been a common theme with this team. Vasilevsky kind of regressing again into this year. I mean, 885 save percentage. Jonas Johansson is outplaying him at this point. So it's like, who's your starting goalie here? I don't know.
Former
it's not
Colorado Avalanche legend right there. I'm just kidding.
Jonas Johansson.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
here's and it kind of goes what you're talking about with like Gensel and stuff like that. You have these, same with Florida with Marchand. You have these guys who just came in last year who performed really, really well, but like right now they're trying to be, and they're almost being made to be, the center of your team instead of the guys who have been consistently with the team and have been kind of the core for a while. And I think that's rough. Like it kind of kills morale a little bit, because not that they're like the enemy or anything like that. Like, I think they should be welcomed into the team and, made a part of it, but it's kind of hard to, like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, I think it's kind of a bad look. It's like, oh, this brand new guy came in and he's like, oh, the face of our team right now, in a way.
Yeah, it's like, where are the guys who were the known faces that stepped up for this team, got them to Stanley Cups? And I'm calling out both Florida teams here. And the Panthers have a bit of an excuse with the injuries, because the two guys who usually step up to the plate are both gone. You could argue they're two best players. But like Tampa, you have Kucherov, you have Hagel, okay, you have Braden Point. Like, where are they? Where are they? What are they doing? And it's not like they're playing horrible, but it's like they should be doing more like they did last year. And that's why Tampa was so successful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's rough. Like, honestly, kind of, he only has been there for like not even half a season with Brad Marchand on Florida. And it's kind of his team now. Like, yeah. Which is crazy when you have, I mean, Barkov is out, but even then, like, even in the playoffs and like since he got traded to that team, he's kind of been like the guy that everybody thinks of when they
He
think of
has.
Florida now, which is not good, I don't think. I mean, you need those guys that have been your franchise players and have been your
Bennett, Reinhardt, Ekblad.
exactly. Yeah.
Where's the strong effort, in
Yeah.
the wins
And
here?
exactly. And that could be what's kind of hurting them a little bit is the fact that they are like their kind of identity has changed a little bit. And some of those guys might not be playing their hardest because like even if I play really well, I'm not getting not the recognition. Like obviously they're all paid the same regardless of who's kind of taking the spotlight on their team. But I think it affects people mentally and affects them mentally that affects their game. So
For sure.
I don't know. I think
For sure.
I think that this again, it's still early days. This division is going to have a lot of shakeup here coming up, throughout the season. If some of these teams don't get it figured out, they're going to put themselves in too much of a hole that they can't climb out of it by the end of the season, regardless of how many wins they get. Because if you start, 8 points back with Tampa from the lead right now, I mean, that's 4 games you got to win and Montreal has to lose in order to catch up. It's like, but if they keep stacking on wins like they have been, if they can keep up even semi the pace and the play they've had right now, you're in for a rough season. So the East is looking a little more competitive this year, which is crazy compared to years previous. I know that Florida won the Cup 2 years in a row and came from the East, but the rest of the divisions and the conference has always looked a little hit or miss. But this year it's looking pretty competitive out there.
I
Could
agree.
be a sign of sign of some changes out there. So I don't know. I like it. I always love when hockey's more competitive. I think some people get a little too held up on. I know I sometimes do. It's like if my team is not doing well, I'm like, just not good. Obviously, you're not going to win them all. I don't know. It's nice seeing all these different teams in different spots and playing differently this year. I think it makes for a more interesting season.
The mix.
Yep.
We're going to take things out west here. I want to start with the Central. Utah Mammoth. Good team. Really, really good team. The things that they have been doing over the years, including in Arizona, the pieces they've added, a lot of these players, Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther, Sean Dursey, Nick Schmaltz, top 5 in points right now, Clayton Keller. This is a team that I feel like I overlook sometimes. And when I look at this roster and I see the players performing, this is a full, well-oiled machine, cohesive unit type of team, all lines playing their part, winning games. And I think the move to Utah, they have a name now. They have a fan base. They're ready to go. They're a full, normal team at this point. I think this, has been the culture change that everybody was looking for in Arizona. It's unfortunate that it took a move, but here we are. They're number 1 in the Central Division and they're winning games.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing about Utah. They're not one of those teams that has like their big star player who's like light years above the rest of the team. They are all just like doing the work. They are all good players that work well together that, they've been stacking some wins. I mean, I think they're, 5 or 6 games in a row now. I think their home wins they're undefeated at home or still.
Yeah, they have 6 wins in a row.
Do they? Okay. Yeah. I mean, and then, they're a solid looking team. I think even going back to, they've been slowly making these changes and going back to when they were still in Arizona. They were always kind of a sneaky team to play against. Like they lose to all these these weaker teams, and then all of a sudden they go and play against a big like heavy hitter team or like a high ranking team,
they compete,
and they just destroy them, or they hold up with them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's a really well run team right now. I think I agree that the move to Utah has made a big difference. There's no uncertainty with the team versus before. It's like, won't they leave when they were in Arizona? And that was a big deal. They didn't have a permanent place. They were just kind of there, and now they are in their new home in Utah. And it's looked pretty good for them. I don't really have anything bad to say about them. I think they have been playing really, really well.
I'm really impressed with how they've built this team. You know, like I already named a lot of guys, but if we're going back, we could talk about Tampa. I bet Tampa is really regretting giving up Mikhail Sergachev at this point. I mean, this guy has played so well. I mean, even you put him on a first pairing instead of that second pairing in Tampa most of the time. Like, he is taken over, power play quarterback, playing defensively. Ian Cole was a great ad. I mean, like, this team is kind of deep defensively. Marino, Dursey, like, they have a good mix of offense and defense on the blue line. And then I feel like this team is so stacked with, like, forwards who all, like, honestly, the majority of them would be, like, second line or bottom six guys on other teams, but they have all come together and the chemistry is, like, unmatched. I mean, like, that Paterka, Cooley, Gunther line is, like, ripping the puck, dude. I mean, Cooley had a hat trick against the Blues. It took him, like, 3 minutes or something to get a hat trick in the first period. Like, they have dominating wins. And Vemelka's playing well, too. Like, I don't know what bad to say about this group.
Yeah, I think one of the things that they're doing differently than a lot of these teams, and it kind of goes back to the way that they're built with the kind of players they have. They don't have guys that are trying to be all fancy and make all these moves and passes and have this perfect setup. They're just playing. They just shoot the puck. Literally, it's like that simple. They just shoot the puck
a lot.
Yes, and it works. I mean, and I think a lot of teams, obviously, they know what they're doing. They're hockey players, like, it's their job. But sometimes these teams forget that, that they forget that, like, when the more, pucks on net, the more likely it is that they go in.
Mm-hmm.
And the less likely it is that the other team has a chance to shoot it at you. It's like they've done that really, really well. I think even their 2 losses were really close losses and really good games still. I know when they played Colorado and lost to Colorado, that was a very tight game. So I really don't have anything bad to say about them other than I hate the national broadcast of their games. They are the league's golden child right now. They are the new little baby in the league because they moved. The league loves, and the announcers and whoever's talking about them loves to talk, They're the broadcast. The broadcasts are terrible.
New fancy car on the lot, that's for sure. Everybody wants to buy it. That's how it goes. Vegas got the same treatment. Seattle got the same treatment to some extent. It's what happens.
Yep.
Speaking of Seattle is, hey man, it seems like every week we come here and they don't get too much national recognition, but they're sticking around. They're sticking around here in this Pacific Division.
What's funny is I was actually going to compare Utah to, like, 2023 Seattle, because they were the same way. It's like they didn't have, like, all these big names or anything like that, but they play really well together. And I think that comes from the drive to kind of prove everybody wrong a little bit. It's like, we don't need these big, $15 million players, obviously not all, you know what I mean? They don't need these super high paid players to be a good team. But Seattle's impressed me in the Pacific. I say we kind of talk about the rest of the Central first before we move out to the Pacific. Not a whole lot has changed. I mean, Chicago and Nashville moved up a little bit, which is surprising. I think Blackhawks look pretty good.
Chicago's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're impressive. They're fun. And it's like we said last week, they're growing up. They're growing up and they're maturing and they're playing good hockey. Once again, another team that shoots the puck a lot.
Yep. I think their biggest issue is, like, when they make mistakes, they make big mistakes and it's cost them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, same kind of thing. Like, the shot volume is high, which is crazy for, like, the amount of goals for that they have. It's actually kind of low for how much they shoot. But they found a way to win a lot of these games, or at least push them to overtime, which I think is kind of the story out west right now. All these Eastern teams have been like
games.
Like win or losses. All these Western games have been like overtime games, which is crazy. But I guess that kind of goes into what we've talked about in the past about how competitive this kind of division and conferences is. These teams, when they match up against each other, are tough games, and they're big, important games too. All of them. There's no, I don't think there's any I don't think there's any easy wins in this conference this year as compared to years past. I mean, there's some teams that are worse right now than others, but all of them have been pretty competitive with each other in to a certain extent. There's been some runaway games for sure, but at times that's been more of a goalie game kind of thing. Some of these teams have been looked really good offensively and just been out goalied. But yeah, the rest of Central is kind of shaken up. Go ahead.
Chicago, if we're talking about goaltending, Spencer Knight, I mean, he has just jumped onto this team and impressed everybody. Yeah, I think I could be mistaken. I think he's got to be top 10 in save percentage. He has oh my gosh, he has a 9.37.
He's number 6 right now. Yeah. I'm sorry,
but Florida
in
wishes they had
allowed.
a Spencer Knight.
Yeah. Spencer Knight is 4th right now in overall goaltending. So yeah, he's looked really solid, which is surprising. I mean, they managed to take a guy who was a backup out in Florida, make them pretty. I think he's their starter now. He started a lot of their games.
He is.
I know that.
He's been their starter.
And he's looked pretty solid, as well as the defense in front of him has done a really good job.
They have.
Now, what I'm saying is they don't have a ton of goals for compared to some other teams, but their goal allowed is a lot lower than a lot of other teams. Well, I mean, they're tying and close to some of the top teams in the league right now for goals allowed, which is how they've been able to kind of get to where they're at. I mean, they're 4 points off the lead in the division. Yeah. And those games that they lost, a lot of them they pushed to overtime, which has been really big for them.
Yeah. They've hung in a lot of games. They know how to close games this year, and that's very important.
Yeah.
And a big part of that is Spencer Knight, a team I've been really disappointed in. I had them finishing in the top 4 of the division is the St. Louis Blues. If we're talking about, the other side of what we're discussing, teams that don't keep things very competitive and close, you're talking about the St. Louis Blues here. I mean, they've had some bad losses. You could kind of sugarcoat it a little bit, but if we're talking about goals allowed, they have a lot of goals allowed. I mean, the Red Wings put up 6, the Mammoth put up 7. Earlier, the Blackhawks put up 8 on them. This is a team that I thought would compete a little bit more, and maybe they will later in the season, but as of right now, the Blues are definitely looking like a bottom, 10-12 team. And I thought Jim Montgomery would be able to get this group rolling a little bit more like he did towards the end of last season, but I don't know. It's not looking good in St. Louis right now, to say the least.
Yeah. St. Louis and Minnesota, I think, are both in that same boat for different reasons. St. Louis, I think, just hasn't been able to kind of figure it out. They haven't been very cohesive. They just have looked really sloppy. And Minnesota, you can't rely on one guy to produce all of your offense. It's a team game.
Yeah.
One line. Yeah. And it's been rough. I mean, I think defensively, defensively, Minnesota has not been good. That's their biggest
this is
struggle.
what I talked about in our division predictions weeks ago. As I told you, this Minnesota team is aging, especially on the blue line. Something has to give eventually here. And Gustafsson and Wallstedt haven't looked very good.
Yeah. Do they need Fleury back?
To call him out of retirement real quick, I feel like he would too. I don't know.
No, because then Pittsburgh would have to hire him again for one game so he could retire again as a Penguin.
Yeah, this Minnesota team doesn't look good, and I'm fully putting it on aging. You have the young guys, especially we'll get into the rookies here in a second, we're supposed to, but you have the young guys and the rookies playing well, scoring a lot of goals, especially that first line, but they're so top heavy, and the rest of these aging guys in the bottom 6 just don't fit the mold anymore. I feel like there are changes coming to this team, not just with the cap, but with pieces that might have to be moved if they're not in a winning position.
Yep. You know who they need back? They need the Minnesota legend, Ryan Suter, back.
Let's call 42-year-old Ryan Suter. He is still technically a free agent, by the way.
Yeah,
he hasn't retired yet. Maybe it's time to give Ryan Suter a call down in Minnesota.
He's waiting for that call. He's like, you guys miss me? He's like, I left and you guys looked like shit.
Hey, he'd suit up right now, too. I guarantee it. He'd suit up.
I know. Yeah.
Dallas
legend
Ryan Suter.
Yeah, Dallas legend. Remember when he scored like 2 goals in the playoffs and like they were both
So
disallowed or something like that,
random.
wasn't it?
So
Or no, wasn't it?
random. That was like,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like two
It
years
was
ago or
against
something. I
Colorado
think it
too,
was
wasn't it?
one was against Minnesota in the first round. The other was against, or no, no.
It was against Colorado. Yeah, no, it was when they played
Yeah.
Minnesota first and then they played Colorado second. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Oh
was
my
interesting.
gosh. Yeah. And then he had like 2 that were overturned or like disallowed. That same thing. We're
Yeah.
like, Ryan Suter's kind of going off all of a sudden. That's kind of funny.
Playoff Ryan
So
Suter
random.
in the state of Texas. Something I'll never forget.
But yeah,
Let's talk about this
push out further
Pacific.
west. Yeah, the Pacific, this division, you've got kind of 3 things happening here. You've got your top 2 teams with Vegas and Seattle looking really solid. Vegas was off to kind of a rocky start. Or not Vegas, I'm sorry. Seattle was kind of off to a rocky start. They looked kind of, I mean, they had, I think it was like their first 4 games that or first 3 games that they lost. They lost like 1 in overtime, regular, something like that. They were a little shaky at the beginning, but then they kind of they found their sea legs and actually looked pretty solid. Goaltending wise and defensive wise, they looked really good. Joey DeCourtis looked pretty good. And
Yeah.
then the defenses looked really solid. They have bailed them out a lot of times. And that's their job. I mean, they've done like it's not like they're causing turnovers or failing on their end. It's just like some of these teams have had really strong offense and their defense has been blocking shots, messing up passes. They're looking really, really good defensively. I mean, there's not a whole lot more to say other than that. I've been very, very impressed by them so far this season.
Yeah. I talked in our predictions episode that you need 2 things from this group. Okay. And they're both offensive, in my opinion. You needed the guys that you're paying money for to step up because they missed a lot of last year. Montour and Stevenson are stepping up. Okay. And then you needed your young guys to step in and fill the shoes of the guys that left the team last year. Okay. And that's what you have. You have Wright and Beniers both getting things done. And it's not just in the scoring department. Okay. Both of these guys have gotten down in the mud, when it comes to battles in the corner, clearing zones, the light work that people don't really pay attention to, the things other than the stat sheet. Okay, and then like you said, the defense played great. I mean, Montour has been there to assist offensively on the power play, and he's been there defensively. They've allowed not too many goals each game, and Decord has looked solid. And I'm going to say it again, Decord is a guy who could be the 3rd goalie on this Team USA Olympics team. Like, I don't see why not. He's played amazing. Nobody really talks about him. I feel like people don't really talk about this Seattle team that much overall. And like, it's clear that they are a playoff team if they could stay on this track,
Yep, I agree. Yeah, just overall they've looked a lot more solid now, and I think that they have a solid position in the standings because kind of what I was talking about. There's like 3 stories going on in the Pacific. You have your 2 teams at the top, and then you've got your middle of the pack with 4 teams all tied, or I guess almost 4 teams tied at 8 or 9 points.
Yep.
And those guys have looked like hit or miss. I mean, like some nights Oilers and the Kings look good, some nights Vancouver looks good, but then the next game they just look like crap.
Same with Anaheim.
Anaheim has looked like, I think which is crazy and whatever. I think Anaheim has consistently looked better than those other teams. They've, not been the best team, but they've been consistent. They've been the most consistent. And they've lost 3 games, 1 in overtime. But I mean, they have looked decent. I mean, that's why they're sitting 3rd over these other teams. They're tied in points, but they have looked solid. And then, yeah, I mean, Oilers, we talked last week. You guys know my opinions on that team. And I think that, I'm not trying to hate on them, even though I'm not a big fan of them, they really do have a defense and a goaltending issue. Even more so than years past. It's worse this year.
I think that's what leads them to be so inconsistent this year. Like, if you look at their schedule, okay, it's like win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Like, and then they consistently are losing. Like, they lose these division games. Like, Yeah, and that's important. That's important. And I don't think Edmonton fans are paying attention to that. And Edmonton kind of has like, I feel like the fan base has this same feel that Florida has because of the 2 repeat cups. It's like, well, it's okay. We're going to lose these games now, but as long as we get in, as long as we're in the mix at the end of the year. And that might not be the case for these guys this year. Like, this Edmonton team does not look as good as they did last year, and I hope the fans can admit that. But I don't know.
I mean,
You guys have taught me that you're one of the most delusional fan bases in the country,
yeah.
in the world. My bad. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we have to compare them. There's 2 comparisons to be made with Edmonton. There's Edmonton at the end of the year last year and Edmonton at the beginning of last year. At the beginning of last year, they were kind of the same, if not worse than they were this year. Didn't they lose like 10 games
Yeah.
straight last year at the beginning of the year?
They lost a lot.
Yeah.
Lot.
And then they had a change like right towards the end of the year, and then they started stacking up wins and they came back. But I don't think that's the case this year, because this year it's like it's just hit, like you said, like win loss, versus last year it was just a solid, like a bunch of losses, and that kind of drove them to improve. Yeah, versus this year it's like they win one and they're like, okay, cool, we're back, and then they lose the next one, and then they're like, oh, it's just one game, and then they lose, or they win another game. They're like, oh yeah, we're on the right track now, and then they lose again. It's just like, I think that's their, I think it's going to be their downfall a little bit, and I don't know, they can't keep this up, or else they're going to get stuck just outside of playoffs, which I think they're a stronger team than that. Like offensively,
I agree.
I think that they can produce offensively. It's just they're just on their back end. It's selling out. I mean, it's not selling out, but it's hurting the team. It's just their biggest problem. And then, I mean, and then you look at like Vancouver. Vancouver's the opposite. I think Vancouver defensively looks decent, but offensively they've been so slow. They just have not been producing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know. And then same kind of with the Kings. I mean, the Kings offensively have been pretty good. They're kind of like both. Like they're in the middle. Like they're just kind of like, dare I say, mid.
The Kings, I'd say the Kings are totally mid, and the Kings are on this stretch of like it's Kopitar's last year. Like, I feel like the Kings are kind of just like enjoying themselves this year. Like I don't really see the direction with this team, because like I could totally see the Kings making playoffs, and I could also see them missing, and I wouldn't be surprised by either result. Like
I think that's kind of where they're sitting, right where I had them in the division rankings. I think I had them like 5th or 6th. I think, yeah, it's like you had them 5th. I think I had them 6th, and it's just, and I was, for those reasons, like I think that they don't have like a future plan right now. The couple signings they did in the offseason were wild and just not. I don't think they were long-term like good moves to make, and I think that they're kind of trying to. They're gonna try and figure out, like, what do we do once like once we're done with this season, like how are we going to look next year? And they're worried about next year instead of worrying about this year. I don't know. They've just been, yeah, like you said, like just kind of mid around. I mean, they're not like terrible defensively. They're not great offensively. Their goaltending,
it's all right.
It's been okay. It's okay.
He holds on. He holds on.
Yeah. But it's hard when you have like, he's not the greatest goalie in the world and not being backed up very well on defense, that, it's kind of hurting him a little bit too. So
this team is going to look so different next year, dude. Like Kopitar's retiring, and then I don't think Kempe is re-signing there. Like those are 2 of your most famous players, 2 of your top scorers not going to be there. I mean, like they got a lot to figure out come the end of the year. Bottom of the division, Calgary, what the hell? What the hell, dude? Like, I did not expect this team to be this bad. But they're this bad.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. I think they need to just, I think it's time for them to drop back, dump some contracts, and full rebuild. I think that's really their only hope right now. I don't really think there's much more that they can do. I think they're dug themselves a hole this season, and they're not good enough to get out of it. And the only way they're going to do it is the long way. They got to slowly build back. At this point, they should just tank. I think we all knew a couple
years ago. Yeah, tank for McKenna. They're the strong choice to get him. I think we all knew a couple years back that what they had built wasn't sustainable. With the Huberdeau contract, with the Kadri contract, like it wasn't gonna hold on. Getting Mackenzie Weegar, who's been great for this team, but like it might be time to trade Kadri. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks. It might be time to trade Uyghur. It might be time. Nobody will take the Huberdeau contract, but like if you could find a way to dump him, I don't know. Like, it's time to trade a couple of these pieces to teams that are trying to win, and just look for Gavin McKenna next year. Figure things out. Put somewhat of a team together. I don't know, because like it's not gonna work anymore.
Yeah, I mean their only hope is really kind of some deadline trades that make some really good deals for some of these other teams, and just I mean maybe try and offload some of them, because it's not watch now. I'm saying is they're not going to really do much else this year. I think they're already I don't think it's too early to react and say that they're kind of they're sitting there with San Jose, who is another team that, as much as I love watching San Jose play and like love them as a team, I mean they're not going anywhere. They're staying in that spot basically for the entire year. So Calgary is really their only hope is just to go, like I said, full rebuild mode and come back in the next few years maybe. Which, hey, it is what it is. As an Avs fan, I don't really. We don't Calgary.
Hey man, and this is just how it goes sometimes. The dice are rolled a certain way for certain teams. Things just don't work out for you, and Dustin Wolf's not happy with it. It's time to build the team around him. Like, quite literally, build the team around Dustin Wolf. And if you could get Gavin McKenna and build around him as well, you have two solid pieces there. I've never been one for tanking. I'm not a tanking kind of guy, like, I think you watch the sport like your fans watch to see you win. I think you should compete no matter what. But at this point, Calgary, like, if you're bad, maybe just embrace being bad and try and win the ones that you can win. But
yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think tanking is like, I say that kind of as a joke. I don't think that's a legitimate strategy. I think it's really just a dirty thing to do. But
it's dirty to your players and your fans.
Yeah, and the fans, exactly. That's what I mean it is. It's and I don't think they're going to do that, obviously. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of a joke just to talk about it, but
yeah.
They don't really have to try to tank because they're just tanking already. They're just
doing it. They're just doing it.
Yeah, it's just happening naturally. But yeah, I think I don't know. The bottom two teams in this division, they're out for this season. I mean, there's no hope for them, I don't think, making playoffs. The middle pack of this division, they need to get it together. I think they need to figure it out. But all of those teams could probably. The only one, I think, Anaheim, just kind of do what you're doing. You might be okay. Edmonton, Kings, and Vancouver, the three teams that were, top four last year, they need to figure something out, or else they're gonna miss completely.
Fall behind real quick. Yep.
Yep. I mean, they're I don't think any of them have a wild card spot right now. Even if in the playoff standings perspective, none of those teams are wild card teams right now. So, again, it's early in the season. There's a lot of hockey left, but they need to figure it out. It's a big deal now. Don't try and play it off as, it's just beginning of the year. We'll turn it around. You do something to turn it around. That's what it's about. Sorry, I'm pulling.
That's the league right now, man. That is the league. And the main topic of today's show, something I have been looking forward to talking with you about all week, is the Calder Trophy race. And every year, it's exciting to see young guys step in and fill some shoes, see which rookies are going to perform and which ones are not going to perform. And the Calder Trophy race this year, in my opinion, has been closer than years past. And it's probably arguably the most exciting one we've seen in probably the past 3 or 4 seasons. We got a couple guys that we really want to discuss here today. Is there anywhere you want to start, or do you want me to kick this one off?
No, you go for it.
What's going on?
Yeah, you go for it. I know where you're going to start, but let's go for it.
I think everybody knows where I'm starting here. Matthew Schaefer of the New York Islanders. Kid's a stud. I mean, I don't think there's any other way for you to put it. I think he is the key, or one of the key pieces here to the Islanders' success. Anytime you could have an 18-year-old step in and play average of 23 minutes time on ice every night, and add to the stat sheet here, 7 points, by the way. 2 goals, 5 assists. He's a defenseman as well. This is exactly what you want for your team. And like I said, he's one of the key reasons the Islanders are staying in the win column here.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's looked really good. Offensively, he's been crazy good. The way he controls everything, the way he shoots, it's been really, really good.
God, can he skate? Can he skate,
yeah.
dude?
Yes, he can really skate, and he's really good defensively too. The only thing that's hurting him right now, and I think it comes from him being a young, rookie, inexperienced player, he does make some really dumb moves defensively. There's been some times where he, like, defensively when he's trying to make up for a mistake or something like that, like he's taken some stupid penalties and made some stupid moves that have cost some penalties, and I think that's just from being inexperienced.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta just trust your, like, on some breakaways. The most noticeable one is on his moves on breakaways and when he's trying to catch up and back check when someone gets around them. He has a habit of going too hard and drawing a penalty or getting a penalty or a penalty shot or whatever. Sometimes you gotta just accept it and let your goaltender kind of bail you out a little bit. Yeah, I mean that's their job. It sucks, and it's never, I'm sure, fun to make a mistake and allow the offense like that chance, but he'll figure it out. I think that it's just a inexperienced thing. He'll definitely evolve as he gets older, and I think he'll just get better because it's crazy how fast this dude can skate.
Yeah.
He's super fast. He's super smooth with his skating. I've been very impressed by him. I definitely think that he's the favorite right now.
For sure.
And, I mean, I think that, yeah, it's been really fun to watch him play. And
do you want to feel really old? I know I've said he's 18 like 5 times, but when you read it, he's born in 2007. Makes you feel really weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
For context, everybody, we're like 10 years, 11 years older than this guy. Doesn't feel good.
Wow. Yeah, that's, damn.
Yeah.
Man.
Not good. But yeah, he's incredible. Number 1 overall pick for a reason. He fits the team really well too. I think he's definitely the Calder favorite, but is there somebody you think is maybe rivaling him?
I don't know if rival is the right word for it, but I think this is kind of the year of rookie D-men. I think Nikishin?
Alexander Nikishin.
Yeah, in Carolina. He's looked pretty good. He has done really well. He's kind of held his own against, again, being a younger, I mean, very young. I think he's 18 as well. 18 or 19, something like that.
Is he? I thought he was a little older.
Is he older than that?
I think he's a KHL guy who's kind of stepped in here a little bit.
Well, he's 24. Okay, yeah, he's 24.
Okay, yeah.
But still, he's new to the league, and I think because of his time in the KHL, that's made him a little more mature. So he's held his own against some of these more veteran players. Offensively, he's not as productive as I mean, Schaefer. He's a defenseman. He is a defensive player. He's done really well there.
Still got 4 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, I've been very impressed by him. I think, like I said, it's kind of the year of the rookie D-man this time.
Another rookie D-man, Zeev Boyum, Minnesota. He's 19 years old. He played a little bit last season. I think he came in the playoffs. But, he's their power play quarterback already. And he's got 6 points on the year. He's looked pretty good. It's these young defensemen really stepping in for these teams.
Yeah. And I think that also, I mean, he's been really good. And it's good for him being in that position. But what does that kind of say about the team when you have a rookie D-man as your power play quarterback? I mean, you kind of look where they're at in the standings and see it's a little rough.
Yep.
But that's nothing bad on him, I don't think. I'm not saying it that way. I'm just saying, like, as a team overall, it's like there's some guys that, like, some teams and some players where you get this rookie that comes in and they make the difference on your team and they're a big part of it, like Bedard did in Chicago and Celebrini out in San Jose and stuff like that. But a team like Minnesota, which historically has been a playoff team, has this guy come in and is kind of leading your team in that perspective of as like on your power play and everything. It's kind of a rough position to be in, I think.
Yeah, your depth isn't there on the defensive side. So
Yeah, and it's like
yeah,
you don't
it's
trust
tough.
any of your other guys that have been more experienced to run that, and I think that could hurt too. But again, that's nothing bad on him. I think he's been playing really good. He is not the problem in Minnesota. Yeah, let's see. Let's talk about some forwards. Any other forwards? I think my prediction for Calder was going to be Michael Misa out in.
He hasn't played too much.
No, he is not. But I don't know. I hope he does. But I had him as my Calder pick just because of his previous stats in I think it was the '08. He played really well there. But I'm hoping to see more
Didn't he
playing
put up
time
like
for him.
100 plus something in like 60 games or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
insane. I
yeah.
think
He's
he's
only played
playing
like
in the
5 games.
OHL again right now.
Yeah, he's been called up a few times. He's played a few games this year, but he hasn't done. I think he's got a couple points. But if he played a full season, I think he would be really good. But
Yeah,
unfortunately, he
for
has
sure.
not yet. Yeah,
My Calder pick is looking like the strongest case here. We got my boy Ivan Demidov up in Montreal. And I really, really think he has been a key piece of why they are at the top of that Atlantic division. And we talked a lot about Montreal the past couple weeks about how they're such a young team and how impressive they are. I mean, now this guy comes in and he's like, when this guy is your second line forward, like, I mean, I really think you could put this guy on a lot of different teams and he'd have just as much, if not more, success. 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points already. He's played every game. I mean, he has looked electric. Like, he's paired up with your boy Alex Newhook, Oliver Kapanen, another rookie, by the way, another rookie here on Montreal. So this is like a young man's game over there in Canada, and two of the rookies on the same line together, and chemistry's out of this world. I mean, they're performing so well.
yeah. I think that's been part of the success that Montreal's had with they've had again we kind of talked about it last year. They've got a younger team that has been built really well and they play really well together and that's a big thing. That's a big deal for a lot of these teams. If you can get production from your rookies and consistent production from them makes a big difference.
True.
Yeah, it's looking good for them, and yeah, he's looked pretty good. I think he's definitely going to be in the running there. It's going to be between him and Schaefer so far this year, unless one of these other rookies comes out of nowhere. What's the guy out in Anaheim? What's his name?
Beckett Seneca, dude. Man, has
Yeah,
he been lighting up the Christmas
yeah.
tree.
I know that he's made a big difference out there too, and I don't know. I think every year these rookies get better and better,
They do.
and
The
I
talent's out of this world.
yeah, it's crazy how much of a difference that these guys can make. And again, kind of what I was saying with Minnesota, it's like you have a team that has been somewhat successful historically, with being in the playoffs and everything. If you bring a rookie in and they make they become kind of a major player in your team, that is kind of bad. It's like what did we change this or why are they, coming in? But you have these teams that are not great and then you bring a rookie in and they make a big difference and boost your team up. That's kind of what you look for. And that's the reason that, the way the draft is designed is to make these teams more competitive. But some of these teams have gotten and had rookies start who have been playing really good. Their rookies are really good,
The
but
team's not
it's
competitive.
kind of made the teams look not great and they've not been playing as well. So I don't know. It's kind of hit or miss a lot of times with bringing in rookie players, but so far I think this year it's worked out pretty well for all these teams other than, like I said, I think really the only one that's kind of not been great is Minnesota. But again, that's not his fault. I think that's an offense issue, not the defense issue.
Yeah, there's two other rookies I wanted to talk about before we end this segment here is I think a reason, if you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins last year, the whole team is very old. No young guys really playing too well on the roster. You bring in two rookies this year, okay? Ben Kindell, dude. That's a name nobody's really talking about here. Fella's got 2 goals, okay, and two pretty meaningful goals here. I think Sidney Crosby assisted on one of them. They just threw him on the power play. Say, go ahead, Ben, have some fun, you know.
Yeah.
And that's been really interesting to watch him. They have another rookie defenseman. If I could find this guy's name, why can I not remember this guy's name? I was literally just looking at his stats earlier.
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah, rookie defenseman. Oh, here it is. Harrison Brunick. Both these guys are 19, by the way. I think Kendall might be 18. Brunick's got a point, but he's on that bottom pairing there, and he's kind of stepped in. He's a fast skater. Like, the Penguins kind of bringing in some young guys here. To call up 2 rookies like that is a little ballsy, but, like, I guess if you're playing with some pretty good players, a little bit of youth infusion could kind of bring your team to life, as we've seen. Kind of what to your point that you were just discussing.
Yeah, I can, it's kind of a toss-up right now about, like I said, I think Schaefer, Demidov have been the front runners, but all of the rookies this year have been playing really well. I think, what was it, like, one of the first couple games of the season, you had like 5 rookies all score their first NHL point the same day or something like that.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
It's crazy. I know that there's a lot more rookies in the game now, so it's more likely to happen, but it's still a big deal. It's like these guys have been coming in and instantly been, not game changers, but instantly been a presence and have been, contributing factors to these teams. And I think that a lot of teams are kind of realize that sometimes proven, or like, you don't have to have a guy who has this like track record in the AHL or has been in the NHL a few games and has been up and down between the two teams. Like, maybe some of these guys are ready out the gate. Like, you could just drop them in and they play. I think it comes from the way that younger players train and how they grow up playing. I think a lot of these guys are more ready for the NHL than a lot of teams realize, and have a lot of players have been in the past, which is great because you could start seeing like drastically different teams by getting these younger players in that you wouldn't before, that you wouldn't see them for another 5 years after they're drafted, versus some of these teams are calling them up and they're playing their first year after being drafted. They're not playing full seasons or anything, but they're getting this experience and against these like full NHL teams and in full NHL games, not just preseason, not just like easy games at the end of the year, because you see that a lot where a lot of teams rest their guys when they're made playoffs and they start a bunch of rookies, which that's good. It's good to give them those reps, but getting them the reps in like actual full roster NHL games, I think is pretty impressive. And I think that that's a good sign for the league as a whole.
I agree.
It's always fun to have new, like, really eager players playing these games. I think they make a difference, and I think that they kind of want it so much more when you give them that opportunity, and they play even harder. And yeah, I love it. I love watching rookies play, and I'm always, no matter what team they're on.
Yeah, this year has been so like impressive to me with how many of these guys have been a top 6 player or like a top pairing defenseman, and they're so young, 18 to 20 years old, and it's like they're just throwing them right into the mix, dude, and it has been so impressive. But that's another thing that adds to how great this season has been, dude. Like, it's been a great year. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, rookies have looked great. Calder race has been fun. Really, the race to the top of these divisions has been fun. This has been a great week talking to you. I can't wait to see what this next week has in store with hockey. We'll be a month into the season after this next week, man. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yep. It's already been a crazy one. It's already been a very different looking season, but I'm ready for more of it. I just can't wait. I love watching all these teams play, and this has been probably the most invested I've been in all these other teams than any other season before, just because I'm so, like, I just want to see them do well, and I want to see all these different teams. Imagine, like, it'd be so cool to have this, like, crazy shakeup and have a bunch of different teams in the playoffs this year. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. And a little bit of a different,
that would be
different look.
Yeah, exactly. Then the same, like, 4 matchups in the first round. Like, dude, I don't need another Oilers Kings first round. That's such a waste of time. It's such a waste of good hockey.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a different story of getting into playoff seeding and
let's wait
stuff,
until the playoffs are on our cusp here.
Yeah. But no, so far a good season, and a lot more to come, and I think a lot more interesting hockey to come. So,
yes, sir. Well, we've been locked in here on Icing the Puck. We hope you've all been locked in too. We want to give a big thank you and shout out to all the people tuning in, the listeners. We know we've gotten more. We see you. Thank you to everybody. Once again, please go follow the socials, Icing the Puck podcast, on everything you could think of. Yeah, new episode out every Monday, y'all. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. Lots of interaction on the socials. So yeah, everybody go and follow us there. We post lots of crazy stuff. Brian's meltdowns when it comes to Dallas. And
True.
That one was
Sure.
funny. I love that one. I love it. It's so over for Dallas, but
Can't take the horns down, but it's okay. Texas won yesterday, so I'm here.
that
I'm
was
alive.
funny. Yeah. No, it's been good. Lots of good interactions and just enjoying everybody watching the content. Yeah. Good conversations and good hockey so far.
Yes, sir. Jordan, we'll see you in the next one, man.
See ya.